Welcome back, everybody. My name is Grace, or Gibby, whatever you prefer. And today I am shedding light on a tunneling strategy, or a turtling strategy, that I think is very useful for a lot of bosses. And it's sort of a cheese method, but sort of also just an extremely defensive method that you can apply to slowly whittle down bosses. Now, this is not the quickest method, and this isn't a specific guide for the hard bake oven boss. I'm just using a fire boss because it makes the method a little more reliable. Now, the method I'm going to be using is going to be using the Shen Ya armor, which is a Pride limited time store or limited time shop armor exclusive. And what I'm going to be doing with the Shen Ya armor is I'm going to be simply starting up the fight with a prismatic burn. So your foe is consumed by rainbow flames. And I used celerity, so I don't have to tank a fire hit in a light armor. And now I'm going to switch back to my random fully defensive fire armor. I just picked this one because it's different. But as you can see, I have 13 fire resistance and the Moglin fan item. I'm going to use Grakma Harbinger, not to do Berserk, just for fire resistance and charisma. And I've got Twilly to heal me and the Alpha Drekhoglin to heal me. So, what I'll do now is you can see that my Moglin fan is setting off a prismatic burn, and I'll show you what happens. I'm going to simply attack the boss, and note that the prismatic burn power is 0.46 right now. Well, the foe defies my Moglin attack. So the reason that I'm doing this on a fire boss is because then I can use the Snuggle Hearth Shield, which gives burn potence, which works on prismatic burn. So it just makes the method faster. But he is resisting it, surprisingly so, because I should be winning the major role, but not important. Okay, well we're getting very unlucky with the prismatic burn infliction. But the gist of this method is that you set off prismatic burn once, and then you increase the power with the Moglin fan. So you can see I did it with Shen Ya. Initially, it was 0.46 power. Now it's 0.55 power. And I'm playing very defensively. I have my healing pet and guest out. And so I'm just slowly racking up the prismatic burn. A little bit stronger and a little bit stronger each turn. And so I am going to let this method play out. And you can see I'll stay full HP, except when I use a little bit of HP from Essence Orb to restore my SP, because I'm slowly losing SP with the Grakma Harbinger and the Twilly Guest. So let's just show you now. But the method is, you simply attack the boss, and with Moglin Fan, you'll slowly increase the power of the Prismatic Burn. So against any boss, eventually, the Prismatic Burn will kill them. The Hard Bake Oven, I'm using this one because, one, it'll survive a long time because it has its regen effect. And two, it's fire, so I can use the Snuggle Heart's Shield to increase my burn potency, as I mentioned earlier. So now I'm just going to let the clip roll with some music. I might speed it up to 2 or 3 times speed, but I'll probably stop it at the end, right before the end, and show you how strong the Prismatic Burn is and how high my resources are. So, as you can see, we've taken down the hard bake oven. I don't think we ever went below 2500 HP, and it was a very relaxed kill. Now, it was also very slow. Let's get the battle log out for a moment and check the turn counts. See, where did I put it? Right here. Turn 44. So this was almost a 50 turn kill. Now, part of the reason for that is that the hard bake oven regenerates a lot of its HP many turns after its special attack. So this was more of a showcase than a practical method. I wouldn't say you should sit here for 50 turns and slowly attack the boss, but this turtling strategy will work on pretty much any boss that doesn't have specific mechanics that cleanse burns or inflict a stacking poison or anything like that. And I'm going to show you one more method at the so it's a good method for turtling for bosses and slowly whittling them down. It's very brain dead, it's very easy to set up, and it's very relaxed once you get into the method. So that's pretty much it. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a way to make it a little bit more optimized. Now, the method for this optimization actually uses a really old pet. And it's one of my favorite pets because it has some silly interactions. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you exactly how it works. So, normally, to use the Moglin fan, you have to attack with it, and then it'll attempt to prismatically burn your foe. What you can do instead is, if you cast a spell, like Mana Regeneration, for example, you'll see the foe is not prismatically burned. Now, what I'm about to show you is a way to get a little bit more value out of each of your turns. If you have the clone pet and you cast a spell, the first turn you take it out, nothing will happen. The foe is not prismatically burned. But if you wait on this following turn, and I'm going to cast a spell, your foe is haunted by nightmarish Moglin powers. What's essentially happening is the clone is inflicting a prismatic burn, but it delays until the next player turn because of some coding jank. Now, I don't know exactly how the code works, but I do know that this method is consistent. So what this lets you do is, instead of having a healing pet like Alpha Dracoglin or Fairy Godmother, I'm just using a Z token one to flex because I like the way it looks. You can have the little clone pet out, and you can spend your turn doing more valuable things than just attacking with a low damage weapon. You can, for example, use a healing spell. And depending on what build you're playing, what you can do is you can spam Essence Orb to give yourself SP back and then use more healing, or you can use Mana Regeneration, which gives you a ton of mana back, and then use a mana healing spell on the next turn, and the Prismatic Burn will continue to stack up because you've got the clone pet. So basically, the gist of it is, if you use the clone pet, instead of having a pet worth 2/5 of a player turn, and that's just the math numbers, healing you, you can spend your entire player turn healing yourself and let the pet inflict the Prismatic Burn. Some people would argue that this is a bug. To be honest, anything using the clone pet, it's so old, is it really bugged? Or did they just make it do that for some reason? What I will say is that if you attack and the clone pet attacks, you only get 1 stack of Prismatic Burn. And it works every turn like that. So I'm not going to show you because we'd have to count the number, it would be annoying, but I tested it distinctly. If you attack and the clone pet attacks, you get 1 stack of Prismatic Burn. And if the clone pet attacks and you don't attack, you also get 1 stack of Prismatic Burn. So you can't double up, but what you can do is spend your turn, which is more valuable, healing your resources instead of your pet. Now, this isn't a practical solution for every boss, but it is very effective at building up Prismatic Burn while turtling extremely hard. So where would I recommend you use this strategy? To be honest, you could use it anywhere because Prismatic Burn is good against pretty much every boss. When I say good, it's usable against pretty much every boss, unless their negative resistances outweigh their positive ones. But this is just an extreme turtling strategy that I think has some niche applications and is a cool use for the clone pet. Which, to be honest, I love these old quirky pets. I think we should use them more often, more strategies. But that's pretty much it. So to summarize, to do an extreme turtling method, you want to first inflict a permanent prismatic burn with the Shenya armor, or the Shinya armor. Then you can either, 1, tunnel with a pet and guest that heal you or defend you in another way, and attack the boss slowly down to build up the prismatic burn with the Moglin fan effect. Or 2, you can heal yourself and heal your resources, and have the little clone pet apply the prismatic burn for you on a 1-turn delay. So the next turn, it applies the prismatic burn. So both apply the prismatic burn and stack it up to slowly whittle down the boss. And both are completely viable strategies. I just thought this was an interesting niche and a cool showcase of pretty much a turtling way to beat almost any boss. So, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was informative. I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Spread some peace and love. And take good care of yourself. Bye-bye now.